You know what I'll never understand? Why something like Discord needs to update like every other day. Discord on my desktop is hanging, so I couldn't post a link to this live stream like I normally would for my friends and followers in there. So some of them are just going to end up arriving a little late. Just is what it is. Um, but it pisses me off because for some reason Discord, what is basically overglorified IRC, just has to update every other damn day. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you adding that's actually of substance, of value? Is the platform being made more efficient? Is it being made any better? Or is it just an even more of a bloated memory hog designed to sell a bunch of kids crap that they don't need to be wasting money on? Ephemeral crap, mind you. I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. We're here to look at some other fucking stupid stuff, but I just had to get that out of the way. I use it, but honestly, I fucking hate Discord. Give me good old forums, give me instant messaging, give me shit that just works. That's why I started my own XMPP server. It's like, fuck it. Let's chat on something I control. How about that? With encryption and keeping three-letter agencies out of stuff. Maybe, allegedly. Not sure. Anyway, there's preamble. We're here to look at a Hovind video. Yes, I had to unload a whole fucking truck yesterday. I did it all by myself. Full 53-foot trailer. I'm a fucking beast. You're welcome. I don't know. I'm tired as hell, and I still got tomorrow to go. But we're going to do this. Because Hovind apparently decided that he's just going to do a Whackin' Atheist on everybody today. Or yesterday. Last night. You know how it is. This is, of course, Hovind. If you don't know why we look at Hovind the way we do, it's because he is a lol cow. He's also freaking crazy and a bunch of other crap. Now I'm tired because of my Discord rant earlier. And the stupid cats are acting up outside the door. Beautiful. All right, let's just get right to this. Volume's up. Here comes the Hovind.
Good evening, folks. Kent Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Genesis Baptist Church in Lenox, Alabama. It is May the 7th, 2025, Whackin' Atheist Wednesday. Tonight we're going to whack a whole bunch of them. Same time, all of you, same time.
I love how he's just slightly off sync to where it becomes uncanny valley level. It's kind of like when Godzilla and stuff would be poorly dubbed, but it would be synced mostly to the mouth movement, so it would kind of work, but not really. It's like that.
Bigger hammer, right? I got that giant hammer somebody gave me. You saw that one? I love it. We're on a bunch of channels. Let's see, on Facebook, a bunch of followers there.
I'm sure you do love it, Kent. You're very easily amused, apparently.
Instagram, Rumble, Twitter, our app, Kent Hovind Official, or KentHovind.tv. You can get them all on.
Wait, where does it say Instagram on there? Is Kent Hovind on Instagram? What would even be on there? I guess short video clips? I don't even want to taint my Instagram profile by going to it. It's one thing having a stupid app on my phone, which still doesn't even have any content. Let me see. Kent Hovind Official loading up on my iPhone. Let's see. We have a video on seahorses making babies. Okay. We got some stuff. It actually contains content now. All right. They made it finally work with KentHovind.tv. It's ugly as hell, but hey.
Right there. Let's see. I'd like to apologize to anyone I've not yet offended. Be patient. I'll get to you shortly.
Ah, hell, we're entering the boomer zone. If I was editing, like, once I get to doing more normal content again, non-live streamy, trust me, I'm going to keep doing live streams, but if I edit stuff together, I just want to do a thing where I forget the name of the other creator in the sphere who does this kind of stuff, but he just intersplices memes and reactions to things. In episode 1, Star Wars, Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks says, "Uh-oh, big boomer." And I just want to have that clip and use it whenever Kent does shit like this. Because it's what I think of. Uh-oh, big boomer.
If I offend you, I'm really sorry. I will tone it down. Number 1 and 2 are lies. I don't care. I'm trying to teach the truth. If you get offended, get out of the way. Sorry if I offended you with my common sense. Here we are.
Shut up, Kent. You don't have any sense at all. Uh, that's rather terrifying that I actually am taking priority over Dragon Ball. And of course, you can get back to Dragon Ball. It's not live. But at the same rate, I can't possibly be that important that you can't just come back to my stream later. So, damn. Hovind even whacks himself every night since January. Hovind, he's alone. He has no wife. He's pathetic.
May the
Hey, has he said anything about eating with his son? I think he said that on Sunday stream. I didn't look at his other videos, Claude. So if you can fill me in on if he actually had like some lunch or dinner or something with Eric or not, that'd be cool. If not, that's cool too.
7th, the American Atheist tonight. All of you going to get. They're the ones doing the rally up at the Ark. You want to come up there July 6th? Come join us up there in Kentucky. They're going to be having a rally against Ken Ham's Noah's Ark. Okay, well, we can talk about that this morning. Let's see, there it is. Come with us, go with on up there. There it is, right there between Cincinnati and Lexington and Louisville, right in the middle of there. Right there. So come help us finish our Ark. We're building a 1/3 scale model of Noah's Ark. Brent Lyons came today. He's been a friend of the ministry for years. Said, Brother Hovind, I'll give you all the metal to finish the whole roof, which is a really major expense. So come on down. We need some carpenters to help us finish building that thing. Okay. Let's see. Now that
Here he goes. He's gonna glaze Trump. We have some unpaid promotion here from Nick Fury. I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't make me seem like I'm tooting my own horn, but I made a post where I basically tease my "A Messenger of Truth Isn't Worth Your Time" video. He really isn't. He really isn't. Kent is a lol cow to be milkable. There isn't even a lol cow factor with Amont. He's just creepy. But I hadn't found many other creationists that I can actually, or just apologists or whatever you want to call them. In some cases, one or another idiots by any other name that I can react to. Amont's just a fucking headache, though. Ugh. Grow weary of him. Dragon Ball is really good. Same time, like to be able to chat. That's true, though. You do miss out on the live chat. Come on down to DAL and do free manual labor for me. Look, let me tell you, I guarantee me doing that truck yesterday was more work in that single period than Kent has willingly done this entire not calendar year, mind you, but like cyclical year. Like from this same time in 2024, same day, May 8th to now. By the way, it's been 80 years since Germany surrendered in World War II. Fuck yeah. Today is VE Day, 80th anniversary, so that's neat. Yeah. Kent talks about doing this and doing that and helping out here and there. And there's a difference in doing work, in quotes, that's like something you want to do, a project you want to take on, and then stuff that's actually labor for a business, for, the greater good of society. Ken talks about how busy he is, but he can just stop just as easily. He just wants to do what he does. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
the Trump's in office, be sure to watch our February 1st letter on all our channels. I did my open letter to Donald Trump. Please watch that. Help us out if you would. We're getting some real traction on that. Getting some contacts, brothers. So hopefully I'll be able to announce something here soon. Okay, you can help us
Lies.
Get evolution out of the schools. I don't want science out of the schools. I want evolution. It's a stupid religion. Help us stay open for free if you'd like. Join our 777 club. I like what you're doing. You can call Bobby. Is that the right email? Dr. Dino Secretary at gmail.com. Okay. You got any questions? Doctor, there's a website. Open for a little over 9 years now for free.
Oh, good point. He does have the two sons and the one daughter, Marlissa. What kind of name is that? Yeah, he did say my son. He didn't specify Eric, but that is who we immediately jumped to. So, yeah. And yeah, Kent Jr. He definitely not in the best shape.
because people help us. Okay, Whackin' Atheist Wednesday tonight. The American Atheist, all of you. Okay, you're coming up to the rally in July. Look forward to meeting you. Okay, let's see. In whack-a-mole game, they stick their head up, you whack them back down. Kids like to play the whack-a-mole game. It's fast. See how fast you can knock them back down. Adults like.
As if anyone in the civilized world hasn't played or doesn't understand whack-a-mole.
I've only played it once, but it was fun. I don't want to do it again. All right, let's see. Whackin' Atheist. We wait for an atheist to stick his head up and say something silly about their evolution religion being true and whack them back down with real science and Christian love, of course. Okay. Few learn to keep their head down. We only had to whack them once. Some.
I feel kind of bad now having used the phrase civilized world. That could be deemed offensive. So yeah, just going on record that I kind of feel bad about using that particular phrasing now. I just say whatever comes to mind, though. I ain't got time to stop and think.
Got to whack them over and over again. So many atheists, so little time. Who gets whacked tonight? Well, the winner is the American Atheist. For more than 6.
Yeah, Nick, it's super straightforward. I know you're not much for the Kent whacking, but this is just the level of just what the fuck that we have to deal with. See, when you talk about civilized world, Kent Hovind and Dinosaur Adventureland are not the civilized world. The rest of the world is the civilized world. See, that's where I was going. Very clever, Hovind. Yamato. Something.
60 years, American atheists have fought to protect the absolute separation of religion from government. No, you have not, you liars. Evolution is a religion. You want exclusively your religion taught and funded by the government. You want other religions excluded. You're not trying to get evolution, protect separation of religion. No, you want the government funding of your religion. Come on, let's be honest, okay?
No, they are being honest. You're the one who lies constantly, Kent. Should go without saying, but by the nature of these things, that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on bringing up the fact that you're a lying liar who lies.
Okay. And you want to elevate atheists and atheism in our nation's public and political discourse. It's about as low as it can go. Anything would be an elevation, I guess, okay? That's the American Atheist 2025 National Convention.
Yeah, it would be. Actual reason, logic, enlightenment. People not starting off important things with pleas to divine entities that obviously don't exist to provide magical enchantments upon those in the room. Weird shit. I think the world could do without that. Especially the United States. We're spiraling down the toilet faster than, I'm not going to finish that joke.
Convention scheduled to take place April 2025. So that would be over. You need to change your website, guys. In Minneapolis, Minnesota. The convention will feature presentations, community events, workshops.
Yeah, change your website from the guy who still thinks there's a donate tab on his website. It ain't there, Chief. Your instructions to donate to your 777 club, if followed, lead to nothing. But, you're an expert on everything. Or in this case, you can just blame the people who handle your website that, you direct, and if they don't do it right, you beat them with a hose or something.
Etc. Let's see. It's scheduled to take place from April to 17 to 20, 2025 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're going to have presentations, community events, workshops, exhibitions, networking. It'll be held at the Minneapolis Marriott Center, City Center.
Can't you just read it without all the goddamn red boxes and your constant hmms and ahs? Really fucking stupid, Kent.
Easy access to downtown Minneapolis via climate-controlled skyways. Who'd have thunk it? Let's see if I got this right now, guys. You're holding your convention, which is designed and planned by intelligent minds. You have a time that was created. You created a specific time for it. You designed all this, okay? In a city that was designed by thousands of people, okay? You're having presentations. Do any of these events happen by chance or were they designed? How about the chairs you're sitting on? Were they designed?
Kent, this is so fucking stupid. And this is always your same plea. This designed, that design, it's designed. But you're seriously going to go this deep into it? You're going to say this in this way? and think people are going to take you seriously. This is how someone would parody you doing your, oh, this and this and this, they're all artificial things, are designed, so the whole natural universe must be designed. Let me stress once again, by claiming that nature is designed and that therefore it's an artificial construct, you negate the existence of the natural world, thus defeating the entire point you're trying to make. You have nothing to compare to. Everything's watches on a beach. But this is weak even for you, Kent. This is real weak.
How about the tables you sit at? How about the floor is going to be, the chairs are going to be sitting on? None of that was designed. All came from a dot smaller than a period, right? I understand. Okay. It's in a city, in a building that was really designed. Wow. Climate controlled skyways. Like maybe somebody designed air conditioning to control the climate and the train tracks it rides on. And you're going to teach the attendees that the universe and all life forms were not designed. Hello.
Actually, they're more likely just to discuss the problems that religion is bringing to the world, and with a heavy focus on the current situation in this hellhole called the United States. But, it's funny that people like Kent think that all atheists do is sit around and talk about, not much designed, nothing much designed, and just, like, all we do is the antipode of what they do, where they sit around and conduct mental masturbation to God all the time. It's crazy.
Oh, is anybody home up there? Let's see. Americans,
I don't know, Ken. Is anyone home up there? Or have you been vacant the past 50 fucking years, God, you're a fucking asshole. People wonder. You do little shit like that. You're supposed to be some kind of preacher. You're supposed to be a good person. You get so butthurt every time someone says anything about you. That's your ad hominem. That's ad hominem. No, I'm just straight talking shit about you because you need to be talked shit about. You behave like that, and people are supposed to treat you as the good guy. Because you like Magic Sky Daddy, who's a piece of shit in his own right. Fuck you, Hovind. Go to jail.
According to the Pew Research poll in 2023, make up 4% of the U.S. adults. That was 3% back in 2014. They're gaining ground. And 2% in 07. Pew Research. So look, they're all done. They're all the way up to 4%. Run. They're taking over. Now, some other.
I wish I lived in a damn city that had public transit that didn't consist of what amounts to basically mobile homeless urinal shelters. Don't tell them about Freedom from Religion Foundation, of which I'm a member. Neat. Want to protect my right to be a non-believer. Also a member of the ACLU. Nice. Very nice. You just keep on being awesome, Maria. Hell yeah. I'm doing a thumbs up over here. I know you can't see it, but I'm giving it.
Other countries, it's a much higher percentage. Poor France, got a bunch of idiots over there, believe it.
Oh, piss off.
They came from Iraq.
Hey, Kent, you would think that rate is higher since you don't believe Catholics are Christian. By the way, they got a new pope. American guy. That's a first. He's also pretty on the as progressive as you could be to be a pope, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So I'm down with that. I mean, the Catholic Church is a horrible establishment, but I'll take a win where I can get it.
American atheists, we're fighting to protect real religious freedom. No, you're not. You want exclusively your religion to be taught. That's all. That's all you want, okay? Since 1963, American atheists protected the absolute separation of religion from government. You liars, or blinded. They raised the profile of atheists and atheism in our nation's public discourse, educated Americans about atheism. Now more than ever, we need your help. Code word, send money. Okay, right, got it.
Code word, send money, from the guy who begs for donations to finish his stupid arc and other shit. And sells shit that's free on the internet as we speak. Wants to sell DVDs for $50. Go to hell, Kent. Oh, wait, you're in bumfuck Alabama. You're already there.
Millions of people who no longer believe stay in their churches because of the community and support the churches provide. Why don't you guys provide a community and support, huh? American Atheists, contact us.
You know? Some atheist organizations do. However, it's a little tricky when you don't have a religion to get 501c3 status in such a degree that you get the same benefits as churches do. Because there's little variations in there, or so I've heard. Different things to apply for here, there, and what have you, and the way things are set up. It's easier to get this, that, and the other added on. And I don't know. I could be completely mistaken on that. But there's like extra stuff that relates, I'm pretty sure of. But, you know, do you actually do anything for the community, Kent? You seem to just take in the worst kinds of people for extended periods. By the way, it's up to May. When are Grantham and Jessica coming back? I think that was about the time they were supposed to come back. Because, you know, they were deadbeat parents who lost custody of their child and went back to Mobile to get said child, apparently, or get custody. Are they coming back to DAL? You said they were coming back. When's Grantham and Jessica coming back? Huh? When are they coming back, Kent? Huh? You gonna tell me? Huh? Oh, wait, they're never coming back.
So, I did. Did you see the email I wrote to him? There you go.
Oh, God, this is gonna be a gem.
I'm getting over 72 and really want to have 1,000 debates before I die. I sent this in to him this morning. I've only had 388 so far. I'd like any of your members who are willing to help, please call 855 Big Dino extension 4, schedule a debate. I will defend the position that evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world today. Prove me wrong. I would like any of
Hey, Beer, it's been a minute.
your atheist members to offer real scientific evidence for how evolution can explain, letter A, the origin of matter and energy, B, the origin of life, C, any life form changing into a different life form, as shown in the typical textbook tree of family tree. Any and all of your members are invited to visit our Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, and have the debate live on all.
I mean, Cheeto Mussolini isn't even fucking Catholic. Everyone's pretty sure he's a damned atheist, but he plays, you know, the Christian card. But he isn't even fucking Catholic, so how the hell would he even begin to qualify? Like, do they not think, oh, right, we're talking about Republicans and maggots? John F. Kennedy's corpse has more standing to be the Pope than Donnie Boy does.
All our channels listed on drdino.com. I'll debate 5 or 10 at a time if that'll help. Equal time for each side, not each person. No interrupting, one topic at a time, and no profanity. Please help me get to 1,000. Dr. Kent Hovind. Come on, you atheist. I sent that to him this morning. No response yet. I don't know. Can you check my email there and see? Probably.
Yeah, I think this late this afternoon I checked it out. They said that they've received.
Oh man, fucking Brett Keane. Do y'all want me to watch and react to them interacting, Proverbs guys and Brett Keane? I've had a little bit of interaction with Brett Keane, very little. You know, mostly know him from the Drunken Peasants era. You know, the individual manatee situation. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 is for the manatee. One of my favorite lines in all of internet history will always be when Paul's ego said, "That's because no one sends letters anymore, you anachronistic piece of shit." Not realizing that anachronistic piece of shit actually describes me to a T. Oh, fuck. But, you know what's worse is for a while I thought that wound up being a Rick and Morty clip because I was watching the show at the time. And my brain mixed the two together, and it would be like 3 months later that I'd realize, oh, it was from that Drunken Peasant special. But anyway, yeah, if y'all want, I'll totally look at the Proverbs guy Brett Keane stuff, and just we'll see where things go from there. Because Brett Keane is just, oh, he's a Chris Chan level character. He is. Not as extreme, but he's the Chris Chan of all this. I don't know what kind of lolcow Hovind is, what lolcow he's relevant to, or connected with, or, you know, comparable to. There's the words. But yeah, let's continue.
They received it. Okay. Now, the computer they received it on, was that designed also, I think, probably? Yeah, okay. Let's see. This is one of their posters they put up in Texas here. Keep God out of our public schools. I understand you guys want that, but you want your religion taught exclusively. Let's see.
I'm of the opinion, I'm of the standpoint of that the phrase "using computers to kill God" applies to me, and that's my stance on everything. So fuck them. Yeah, get them out of schools, get them out of everything. Your God's a dick. Any God that would exist is not going to be the Christian God as depicted in the Bible. That's BUYBULL.com. Buy your bullshit today. Sponsored by Zadar Entertainment. Please smoke responsibly. Thank you.
American atheists protest Noah's Ark. Really? Why? American atheists protest Noah's Ark because they view the biblical story as a parable of genocide and incest, and they believe celebrating it is immoral.
Well, Kent, what else would you call murdering everything that lives on the earth and repopulating the earth by getting it on with your children? Seems like genocide and incest to me.
Additionally, they argue the Ark encounter, a life-size replica of Noah's Ark, is a clear violation of separation of church and state, especially since it receives state tax incentives.
Joe, you may have missed it. I actually did a stream where I reacted to Kent and went through the entire thing without crossing the line, specifically to prove to myself, not just that I could, to prove to others that I could, and as a dry run, in the event that I were to debate Kent, to see that I could, when focused, control myself. Of course, if he crosses a line, I'm not going to give a damn. But short answer, yeah, I totally could. I totally could. It'd be hard, but I could do it.
Some criticize the park for its discriminatory hiring practice, require applicants to sign an agreement professing Christ as their Savior. Imagine a Christian ministry wants only Christians working there. Let's see, let's break this down.
Yeah, no, see, it's a place of employment. That's kind of discriminatory. Someone wants a job and is capable of doing the job, they should be able to get the job. Not that I would ever want to work there, but let's say, since there's a zoo nearby, let's say I did want to do something at the zoo, and I think that's like I say nearby as in it's out there right by the actual park itself. I'm sure it's all the same thing, because it's like it's physically right there. Let's say I wanted to work in that because it's a zoo. I like animals. I wouldn't be hired because I'm an atheist. Or I would just lie on the paper. But that would be a really scummy thing to do because I'm an honest person. I try to be honest anyway. Why should that bar me from being able to work with animals? Ignoring other qualifications that I don't have, but we're just throwing ideas out here. It wouldn't be connected to any of the biblical stuff. I'd just be taking care of the animals. So why would I need to be, barred from that? Because I don't believe in Magic Sky Daddy sacrificing self to self. Are y'all afraid I'm going to do something like hurt the animals? I'm the last person who would. Out of the group that would be up there. But, we all know it's just legal discrimination. Which is so funny that as long as it's under the guise of religion, you can discriminate all you want. All you want.
Now a little bit. American atheists protest Noah's Ark. They view the biblical story as a parable of genocide and incest, and celebrating it would be immoral. Answer. The evolution of religion is responsible for more genocide than anything else in history. See my seminar part
Wrong.
5 about more on that.
Ah, yes, the DVD number 5. DVD number 5 that I watched and derisively called bullshit on every aspect of. I'm thinking about going back to DVD 5, and not in the form of a live stream, but actually taking the time to go through segment by segment, like Rod did Lies in the Textbook, and tear every single bit of it apart in like a definitive way. Lies in the Textbook doesn't ever need to be addressed by anybody. Aaron tore it apart. I would like to do the same for DVD 5.
If evolution is true, how can incest be immoral? What exactly is immoral? If evolution is true, no such thing as immoral. What's the standard for moral in your religion?
Morals are objectively conditional, you fuckwit. So to a degree subjective, but also objective based on the situation going on. As a side effect of us being a social species and generally agreeing on things. I don't want to be hurt, and by extension, I don't want to hurt others. I want good things to happen, ergo, I generally want good things to happen to others, especially those closer to me. If I'm having a good day and someone else is having a bad day, I wish to make their day better and vice versa. I'm certainly not going to do that by harming them in some way. It's easy logic. Animals seem to get it. Why can't you?
Guys, let's see. Are humans animals? Do chimpanzees have morals? Let's see. Your kids go ape in school. Here's why. He's being taught evolution. Let's see.
Who the fuck is Barbara Reynolds? I don't know, and I don't give a shit. Looks like goddamn Darth Sidious up there. Let go of your hatred, Luke. Take your place at my side, Hovind.
Prohibiting the teaching of creationism in favor of evolution creates...
And fine, since I went on and put in the Palpatine voice. Do it.
It's an atheistic, belligerent tone that might explain why our kids sometimes perform like Godzilla instead of children made in the image of God. One philosophy preaches happenstance with mayhem and a conclusion. As a conclusion, the other, divine order. One suggests the survival of the...
A great one here from Gringaldi. Hey Kent, if those schools you taught at required you to sign a piece of paper saying Odin was the one true God, would you be okay with it? Boom.
fittest. The other, a commitment to serve the weakest. Let's see. Under the rule of evolution, teachers are forced to answer to King Kong rather than the King of Kings. But Barbara Reynolds hit it right on the head, guys, okay? If evolution is forced on our kids, we shouldn't be perplexed when they beat on their chests, or worse, beat on each other and their teachers. Let's see. Most schools, Johnny, Johnetta, and John.
And I greatly appreciate that, Zoomy. As well as the fun in Discord. It's just cool when cool people find me and they're like, hey, you're cool. And I'm like, hey, you're cool too. And suddenly we become friends. I forgot what that was like. Because, God, people around here suck.
Are being taught evolution, that humans evolved from apes. Okay. You are an animal and share a...
Yeah, Hovind's immune to any kind of logic. At this stage, he used to be able to sort of adapt. No pun intended there with an evolutionary reference. But at this stage, he's too far gone. I think he's had one too many mild strokes.
Common heritage with earthworms. I'm an animal? Okay. Yeah, I understand. We teach the students are animals.
Hey, Kent, define animal. Uh-oh, you just defined what a human is. We meet all the criteria. We're animals. Get over it.
What effect does that have? You guys are worried about morals and ethics? Where do you get your morals from? Do animals have any morals? Look, we're training generations.
Oh no! People who have eccentric styles, alternative viewpoints of, cultural norms, horror, terror, danger, Kent Hovind, danger. What the fuck, bruh? None of these people look like the complete douchebag you do. Look at this bitter old fuck. What the hell, bruh?
Generations of kids to say, there's no God, there's no moral standard, do what you want to do. Bible says, he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, altruism is very well noted in many, many, many species. Prominent, yes, in ones like rodents of various types and various types of birds, not just specifically mice and crows, but they are definite case studies. There we go. New World Order. You know, I want to ask these clowns, what the hell is wrong with the one government idea? Like, what is actually the problem there? You talk about how horrible it is, but you never actually explain what's so bad. But, you know, God. Hey, humanism, like, that's it all bad. Oh, racism, Nazism, communism. So fucking ridiculous.
See, evolution is dangerous because, for my seminar part 5 here, it's based on lies alone. Watch video number 4. It removes all morality. It's the foundation for humanism, racism, Nazism, communism.
Fine point from Laura and her interesting history. When I was in high school, I spoke at a senior board meeting supporting prayer at football games. Some Jewish kids spoke up against it because it was always Christian prayers. Felt they had a point. Following up, I would have had no problem with Jewish prayers or Muslim prayers, etc. My parents, nope, Jesus only. And see, that's a sensible way, absolutely sensible way to think about things and be and have a religion and have it be compatible with the world to at least a degree where it isn't functionally causing issues and being obviously, commanding.
And the New World Order. Folks, it's an evil, dumb, religious teaching. This evolution is.
You know, however many times you say that, it doesn't make it true, Kent. Hey, Palpatine, what should I do with all this leftover meat? Stew it.
Oh, here's Julian Huxley, famous evolutionist. He said, I suppose the reason we leapt at the origin of species was that the idea of God interfered with our sexual mores. We didn't want God telling us what to do.
Hi, don't give a flying fuck who the hell that guy was or what he did. Hey, look, don't give a flying ordered March 40th History Channel special. Hey, Kent. Stalin was an asshole, regardless of theology. Can you get that through your head? He was just a fucking prick.
Why did Stalin execute 14,700 Polish officers, prisoners of war?
Because he was a dick. He was Joseph fucking Stalin. A supreme asshole. That's all there is to it.
Captured him. What about the Geneva Convention? What about ethics?
Hi, didn't give a fuck. He's Joseph fucking Stalin. Just like you. What about tax laws? What about not abusing people? What about basic safety in swimming areas when you used to be a lifeguard that prevents a kid from drowning? Oh, wait, I forgot. You're just a fucking prick.
You don't shoot prisoners. Oh, he did. 1940. Shot 14,000 Polish officers.
Oh, God. See, this shit right here, this motherfucker's gonna get my video fucking flagged. God damn you, Kent.
Why did Hitler order the execution of 6?
Because this is what did it, DVD 5. This is why DVD 5 is not monetized. It's this clip. This image.
Million Jews. Where's his ethic? Hitler believed in evolution, big time.
Jesus Christ, I had no idea we're going to get DVD 5 Redux. Great, this video's not going to be monetized, everybody. So if you're feeling generous enough to donate today, now's the time. Or if you're watching this later and super thanks, I'd greatly appreciate it because thanks to Hovind's ass, yeah. Thanks, Kent. Thanks a lot.
From 1975 to 79, the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, Pol Pot executed more than 1/3 of his entire population. Why? Isn't that genocide? The guy believed in evolution, by the way, big time.
Pol Pot was kind of just a fucking idiot. And all the stuff that happened with all these groups is constantly simply a matter of them being assholes who got power. Kind of like, I don't know, Donald fucking Trump and his cronies? Huh.
Why were the Australian Aborigines treated like animals and thousands were killed in the 1800s? Huh? Why did Kip King...
Well, given Australia's a fucking... I mean, this is literally DVD 5 Redux. Just, that's all this is. I've already said all this. Australians were fucking assholes of the time. Given it started as a prison colony, combined with just general racism that existed regardless of stuff, you act like people who weren't the only people who have ever done anything bad are non-religious or don't follow the religion of Christianity, just follow the evolutionism. The fuck, Kent. The actual fuck.
Will kill his parents. And
Kip Kinkle was a fucking jerk ass who needed mental help and didn't get it. As with just about everyone that you're going to bring up in one way or another. The problem seems to be a lack of mental health care.
Fellow students. Kip Kinkle said, if there was a God, he wouldn't let me feel the way I do.
And I don't give a fuck what Kip Kinkle said. Fuck that douchebag too.
There is no God, only hate. See, it's atheism and evolution that leads to this kind of stuff. 1998, 15-year-old Kip Kinkle came into his school, fired more than 50 rounds from a semi-auto.
Well, that is some bullshit, Maria. That's the kind of stuff you atheists honestly deal with. Just little things like that. I fear it coming up as a thing at work, because when I mention I stream, people will ask. I showed a friend this morning, and I'm like, hope it doesn't become an issue, but he's usually a cool guy, so, hopefully not.
Automatic rifle. 26 students were injured, 2 were killed. Later, the bodies of his parents were found in his home. He was arrested and taken.
Yes, you're a tomato like me. You're related to a strawberry. Laura's related to a Lego brick.
Into police headquarters where he attempted to murder a detective during his initial questioning. Maybe he did.
Something weird is that since oils are used to make plastics, and petrochemicals and the like, oils are a direct result of plant matter having been compressed for multiple millennia. Putting it lightly. Technically speaking, one could argue we're related to Lego blocks. That's pretty fucking weird.
Didn't have any morals because he believed in evolution. Let's see. Right after the
No, Kent, he was just a fucking asshole.
Columbine shooting, almost instantaneously, 5 more students from within the Springfield School District were arrested for threatening to murder students, principals, or teachers. In the next school district, more students were arrested on violent threats. In one case,
and yes, love for saying that. We are too big to be bacteria, and we move too much to be plants. Yeah, we're animals.
An elementary school boy shot 5 of his classmates with a BB gun while they're playing in the schoolyard. Not an isolated. He was isolated. He was not isolated from other students, and got into the minor.
God, this is going to become a meme on my streams now. Hey, Palpatine, we can't get Kent to stop misrepresenting evolution. Screw it.
Kid-type difficulties every once in a while. There was no indication during his school years that he had severe mental or behavioral problems.
Joe Cool commenting, "This is why I like watching you, Yamato. You say everything publicly that I would want to say about Kent. Thanks. You're very, very welcome. I hope I'm therapeutic in that regard, and just know I lol at most of your jokes. Hell yeah. That's a higher success rate than I expect with the garbage I say. Zach, hey there, buddy. You missed some stuff. We're actually getting DVD 5 Redux in this case, so the video's not going to be monetized. Because, he has to pause on horrible frames. Oh, God, I hate you, Kent. You fucking asshole. Hey, Palpatine, what should I do with all this malt? Brew it. I can't do the Palpatine thing forever. It keeps on distorting. Like, it's still Palpatine, but it's like different versions of him. No. Evolution is not a religion. Sidious.
I've known who he was since middle school. He was a friendly kid.
Stalin was a Stalinist. That was his religion. Yeah, basically. And I'm Joseph Stalin, and I worship myself.
Smile. Both of his parents were teachers within the same district. They were the typical all-American family who lived in an upscale home in a rural subdivision. The parents are praised by every neighbor, friend, and allow their fellow employees. To date, there was no closure as to why Kip Kinkle murdered his parents, 2 students, and shot 26 classmates.
Hey, that's just how shit fucking happens sometimes. Fucking sucks. Welcome to reality.
Maybe there is a little bit of clue here, guys. He said if there was a God, he wouldn't let me feel the way I do. There's no God, only hate. Huh. Violent crime.
Kent, did you ever think that maybe that demonstrates how useless religion is? How impotent the deity is if they exist to actually do anything about anything? You ever think about that? I sure do. A lot of atheists do. It's almost as if your God doesn't exist, or if they do, they don't give a flying fuck about anything that goes on. They probably point and laugh. I was thinking about today, I'm so desensitized to shit. There could probably be an active shooting at a place I'm at, and I'd just be like, oh, fuck, okay, and just walk out. Probably not really with adrenaline, but honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if I just was like, oh, hell. Stuff seriously doesn't even faze me at this point.
Crimes have increased 1,000% since I was a kid. Maybe evolution teaching. You got the why they're searching for. How many school shootings in 1996? Since 1990, I did this research and slides in 2002, so that was only for 6 years. There we go. 235 students were killed in 10 years in our public school system. Since Columbine, April 1999, there have been a total of 389 school shootings. 60% of the active shooters occurred in high schools, 21% in middle or junior high. The remainder happened in elementary schools. Children responsible for more than half of the country's school shootings, and more than 330.
Maria popping up regarding Stalin and the Poles because they were Polish. The Reich hated Polish more than their occupation for the rich land, but hated them for being the Reich hated the Polish more for their occupation of rich land, but hated them for being Slav. For the Russians, they were Poles. Cough, Crusades, cough, exactly. Ken is an idiot. The Nazis were Christians. Ostensibly, yeah. It's nuanced, or nuanced, as some might more correctly wish to say. Kent, it's 2025 and you're still talking about stuff that happened in the 1800s, 1990s. Yeah, the 1990s.
38,000 students in the U.S. have experienced gun violence. And the solution is not gun control. The solution.
Cherry picking about Kip Kinkle. Yep. Gonna argue that Lego isn't alive, but you may have a point. That's the thing. Not alive, but, one could argue. It worked for Hovind. We came from Iraq. Not defending anything Hovind says. Hovind's a fucking idiot, but I'm just saying from a metaphorical perspective. Something he doesn't understand, because everything's literal with him. You'll notice that people who take a literal interpretation of the Bible do not get metaphors, do not get analogies. They do not understand these concepts as anything more than what they are. They think of everything as matter of fact. It's pretty common trait. Cherry Picker 2000 Turbo X, way over the speed limit. Dun dun dun. Pal said years ago he has no issue with quote mining. Yep. Emperor Palpatine, Kent made another video. What should we do about it? Review it. I'm going to have to start charging for my Palpatines. Y'all going to have to pay me some Imperial credits for that stuff. Republic credits will do fine. No, they won't. What, you think you're some kind of Jedi? You can just wave your hand and make me do things? I kind of channeled Cassian there for a minute. By the way, I'm still enjoying Andor Season 2. I need to catch up on the last two of the recent episode drop. But yeah. And maybe watch some other Star Wars for the hell of it.
Evolution is what we're teaching them. It's the dumb evolution religion. Let's see. 1,300.
Gotta read this one from Beerus. Yeah, there are only so many kingdoms of life out there. We aren't fun guy either. Well, Karisu is a fun guy, but that's different. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I use that joke way too often in my day-to-day life. Hey, are you a mushroom? Because you're a fun guy. Oh, my delivery is shit.
75 school shootings over a 22-year period. 515 deaths and 1,161 injuries.
I did these slides in 2002. In other words, you know they are very out of date. I mean, that is literally, if you didn't see the DVD number 5 stream, those are right from DVD 5. Because of course they are. Which means this man went into DVD 5 slide set, extracted those, and copied them into this one. It's beautiful.
Injuries. Let's see. 327 incidents resulting in 81 deaths and 269 injury.
G-Man and the Masters of Stupidity. Shudder at Hovind running a school system. Yeah, that is a terrifying thought. Read all super chats as Palpatine. Now there's an idea. Here we go. Super chats for the rest of the stream. I'll read as best I can as Palpatine. Do it.
61% of recorded school shootings occurred at high schools. 2 students and 1 teacher killed, another wounded. 14-year-old Barry opened fire on his algebra class. Evan Ramsey, 16 years old. Luke Woodham, 16 years old, Pearl, Mississippi. I think if we look at the school shootings and what's happening, these kids are being taught they're just an animal and there is no God. And what's wrong? What's wrong with the...
That has fuck all to do with anything, Kent. And also, Kent has a very major flaw in his entire thing here, is thinking that students actually pay attention and care that much at all about what they're doing in school, what they're being taught. They generally don't. Especially in science classes. People don't give a fuck unless you're that weird kid who really likes science. Like, you know, the guy you're listening to right now. Kent thinking everybody over here is a straight A student who just absorbs everything like a sponge. What a fucking idiot.
The lion killing the zebra. Huh?
Oh, God, here we go with that shit.
Strongest survive, you know. Wasn't that the trial of Darwin's book? Origin of species by means of natural selection or the preservation of favored races. Only the strongest survive.
Hey, wasn't that the title of the Bible? Bible, as in B-U-I-B-U-L, or Goat Herder's Guide to the Galaxy?
1 teacher and a guidance counselor were wounded by a 14-year-old boy in the school hallway. 14 students, including the killers, 1 teacher, and 23 others wounded at Columbine High School. Dylan and Klebold, Eric Harris.
Dylan. I need a minute.
Klebold.
Hang on, I'm finishing this bit of chocolate. Which is nice because it'll give me a little bit of a mood perk as I lay into Kent. Just keep giving me a moment. Thank you for your patience. Please stand by. Mr. Hovind, I have a personal policy whereby, from my point of view, the way you speak about things tells me how much you actually care about them. And I find myself guilty of this too sometimes, what I'm about to describe. When people don't use accurate terms for things, when you know they know better, when they should know better, when they can't get a name correct, get a word correct, and clearly don't care to, even though there is no reason, if they've looked into the subject, they should not be able to instantly recall how to pronounce that name. A very normal name. When there's someone who's supposed to have been a high school teacher for 15 years, who should be great at memorizing things, and someone who acts like they care so much about these subjects and care so much about these tragedies and wants to stop them, when instead, by behaving like this, it makes it seem like all you want to do is use them and exploit them to further your own goals. You are one of the most detestable pricks I've ever encountered in my decades on the internet. In that you repeatedly, consistently will use events like this, especially Columbine, an event I care deeply for simply because of it being the pivotal moment it was right before I entered high school. It was fall 99 I went to high school, so it was right on the heels of that. The fact that you can't be bothered to properly pronounce the name of one of the people who committed that atrocity, regardless of her opinions on them as having been the people who did this stuff. I would expect you to pronounce their names correctly. In the same way, when you're talking about mustache German guy from the 30s and 40s, you don't say Adolf Hitler. You seem to pronounce that correctly. You seem to pronounce Joseph Stalin correctly, even though it's more correctly Joseph Stalin, and that's not even his actual name. You want to pronounce those guys' names okay, but for something that's a little more home, a little more during your actual lifetime, during my lifetime, something that does resonate with me and many others here, that you don't have remote sense of decency to, when talking about the subject, at least pronounce the names correctly? Cunt Hovind? What a fucking piece of shit you are. It's absolute crap. Absolute waste of life. Oh, Chris, what are you so mad about? Dylan Klebold was one of the killers. Eric and Dylan were also victims of the system. They didn't get help that they needed, which is a constantly recurring thing. I don't know what it could have taken to get those boys from not having gone completely off the deep end, because they were far gone for years. But it could have been done. But it didn't happen. And that fucking sucks. It was a fucking tragedy. You would think you would care about that, though, but you don't. All you care about is the fact that it's one more thing for you to put on your list and say, evolution caused this, evolution caused this. Even though groups like you fundamentalist anti-vax fuckwits have been retarding science and progress in healthcare for decades. This shit happens. Everyone cries, "Oh, how could this have happened?" And you bitch about people trying to take away your guns, when you sure as hell won't work on the real solution to the problem. If we won't let column A happen, where people get the help they fucking need and problems and issues are noticed early on and actually addressed in kids properly, to where they're able to cope with the pressures of life, to where their particular neurodivergencies are accounted for, this is what you get. And if you won't let us solve that problem, then everyone wants to go to the next logical step. And then you bitch about that. Cry me a fucking river. Have some goddamned respect. I don't care if it's Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold's names that you can't pronounce. You should care more about the subject enough to be able to fucking pronounce the names correctly. To show that you pay attention, show that you care at all, but you don't. You're such a piece of shit, Hovind. Fuck you. Drop dead.
And Eric Harris plotted for a year to kill at least 500 and blow up their school. At the end of the hour-long rampage, they turned the guns on themselves.
Fuck you, Raw Matt. Fucking piece of shit. I could bench press that son of a bitch. I saw him in that one thing with see him in the comments down here. The one thing with standing for truth, where they're talking about the heat problem, and someone was like, "Oh, that's raw, Matt." And I'm like, "That's raw, Matt." I could take that fucker. Yeah, right. No, Matt. It's gonna be the majority. If you want to look at the actual stats, it's gonna be the religious majority in any given area because they're the majority of people. It's funny how that works. But you don't know shit. Piss off, Matt.
Why did Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold?
Ugh, you fucking piece of shit. Dylan Kent. Dylan. D-Y-L-A-N. D-E-L-A-N. Dylan. I know it seems funny for me to be so pissed off at this, but I do not comprehend how we can't have this straight. It's like the last few brain cells that haven't realized this man is just fucking garbage are giving him the benefit of the doubt. And they're still like, he keeps fucking up. Because he doesn't fucking care. You know, it feels good to get this pissed off. It's very therapeutic. Because I just got to go on one hell of a rant that I need to remember to actually excerpt. So I need to go back through my old streams and do that. In fact, if that's something y'all want to do, is give me, if you rewatch old streams of mine, give me timestamps that I should excerpt and make as normal videos, and I'll do that. Because I'm looking for some quick cut content that I can just put up, and you guys are more likely to rewatch a stream than I am, because I don't want to hear my own voice, hear my own stupid jokes. So yeah.
Kill people in their school. They made a video prior to the shootings, and one of them said about a football player, he doesn't deserve the jaw evolution gave him. Look for his jaw. It won't be on his body. Klebold's father was
double checking. I don't think that actually, was actually in something. I think that wasn't. I think that's a typical urban myth. I could be mistaken.
Was a geologist.
You want to know what was a total myth? The whole Cassie Bernal thing is a total fucking myth.
Eric and Dylan were followers of Nazi teachings. The shooting took place on Hitler's birthday on purpose.
No, it didn't. It was planned for Monday, but they had to change plans. I know these things because I've actually looked up the subject. A ColumbineSite.com is a very good resource.
Shirt that said serial killer. They shot Isaiah Shoals because he was black. Hitler hated black people. Eric's t-shirt said natural selection. One of them said, asked Cassie, do you believe in God? She said, yes. And they shot her, killed her.
Never happened. You lying liar piece of shit.
Clothes might give a clue to the thinking of these teenagers. Autopsy for the killers on the day of the tragedy was wearing combat boots, black glove on his right hand, and a white t-shirt with the inscription natural selection.
Hey, Kent, the photos of their bodies are out there in the library. You want to see the photos? I could pull up the photos. I'm sure you'd love it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It doesn't involve any animal penis, so you wouldn't be interested, you sick fuck.
American atheists are going to protest Noah's Ark because they view the biblical story as a parable of genocide and incest. And it's immoral. Guys, it's your evolution religion that's responsible for more genocide than anything in the history of the world, okay?
Wrong.
If evolution is true, how can incest be immoral, guys? Come on. 6 students injured at Heritage High School. Let's see. 6-year-old Kayla Rowland shot dead at Buell Elementary. The assailant was a 6-year-old boy with a .32 caliber handgun. Can you imagine that? Just read about the school shooting.
Remember, everyone, this is a Bible study. This is a sermon. This is a Wednesday night sermon.
Hey, folks, it's unreal what's going on. We're teaching the kids you're just an animal, and they're acting like animals, and you guys can't figure it out. Hitler thought the Germans were the superior race that deserved to rule the world. He wanted to make the practice of Germany conform to the theory of evolution, Sir Arthur Keith said, who was very...
Arthur Keith didn't know jack diddly shit. Because they fucking burned Darwin's books. So that seems a little contrarian, don't you think?
Excellent author and good, knew about this stuff a lot. German
excellent author and knew stuff a lot. Okay.
Philosopher. If Hitler believed in anything at all, it was the laws of evolution, which justified and sanctified his actions, and especially his cruelties. A.E. Wilder-Smith. If it were possible to form a state or an army exclusively of homosexuals, these men would direct all their emulations toward honors and going into battle with such a spirit that even if the numbers were small, they would conquer the world, Plato said. Not 10% of the men who in 1933 took the fate of Germany in their hands were sexually normal. Get the book, The Pink Swastika. It's over there on the shelf.
Should I get that along with the Elders of Zion or whatever that book is you recommend, you anti-Semitic fuckwit?
Because when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations. Their foolish heart was darkened. They changed the glory of the uncorruptible God to an image made like to a corruptible man, to birds, four-footed beasts, and creeping things, evolution. God gave him up to uncleanness. He changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator. For this cause, God gave him up. Likewise, the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. They did not like to retain God in their knowledge. God gave them over to a reprobate mind. It remains characteristic of the German.
Yeah, maybe he was doing it on purpose, which makes him even more of an asshole.
That they, outwardly the most brutally masculine of all European people, are the most homosexual nation on earth. A direct line runs from Darwin through the father of eugenics movement, Darwin's cousin, Francis Galton, to the extermination camps of Nazi Germany. New Scientist did an article. American atheists protest Noah's Ark. They say it's a parable of genocide and incest. Guys, it's your religion that is the genocide and incest.
No. Ignoring that it's not a religion. No, Kent. No. You're not even trying. Then again, you're Kent Hovind. You don't try to do a damn thing. You just run the same shit over and over for fucking ever.
And immoral, okay? Our enemies are little worms. Close your hearts to pity. Act brutally. The stronger man is right, Hitler said. Oh, okay. Madison Grant, a prominent American lawyer, became a staunch supporter of the eugenics movement. Eliminate the inferior people.
Wow, I have no idea who Madison Grant was, nor do I give a flying fuck. I literally could not care any less about him. Is that right? I could not care any less. Yeah, there is no way I could care less. Yep, okay, I just had to make sure because people fuck that up all the time.
Get rid of people we don't need or don't want, okay? Grant was a founding member of the Galton Society, director of the American Eugenics Society, and a member of International Committee of Eugenics. He wrote the book, The Passing of the Great Race, on the shelf here somewhere. In 1916, he wrote his famous work on scientific racism, The Passing of the Great Race. Grant classified humans into distinct racial groups, which he then ranked in terms of evolutionary development. Grant believed that the harsh conditions of the northern latitudes caused humans in those areas to evolve better brains. He identified these by their blonde hair or red hair and blue eyes. Blue, yeah, okay. So,
yeah, Kent, every time you do that, it gets more and more creepy. Also, you're a piece of shit.
So the Norwegians, the Swedes, the Finns, they're superior race because they have to endure harsh conditions. After reading Grant's book, Hitler wrote to him and said, "This book is my Bible." Hitler's book is full of his racist philosophy. Hitler's mind, captivated by evolutionary thinking, probably since the time he was a boy. Evolutionary ideas lie at the basis of all that is worst in Mein Kampf. Germans, responded to the USC refugee plan. They said, I said, you have deep sympathy for these criminals? He called the Jews criminals. We'll send them to you on luxury ships.
He's talking about whacking everybody, and it's just like he's just rambling on about this shit. He's just giving us DVD 5 Redux. What the hell, Kent? This isn't a whacking atheist. This is just you doing unhinged bullshit.
Roosevelt refused to take them. Hitler said in Mein Kampf, no more than nation.
Oh, hang on there, Kent. Are you complaining about people refusing to take immigrants? Are you complaining about that? Am I hearing this right? Is Hovind, MAGA right-wing chicken-eating, Bible-thumping, masturbating to Jesus asshole, Hovind, he's saying that we should have took in immigrants. Okay. You want to rethink that, Kent? Because seems to be a little bit of a contradiction there.
Nature desires the mating of weaker with stronger individuals. Even less does she desire the blending of a higher with a lower race. Who's the Aryan blood, Adolf? Well, here's the list Hitler was using. Hitler said the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Norwegians are close to pure Aryan. The Germans are mostly Aryan. Mediterraneans, slightly Aryan. Slavic, half Aryan, half ape. Orientals, slightly ape. Black African, mostly ape. And Jews, close to pure ape. You guys think you're protesting Noah's Ark because it teaches genocide? Why don't you protest all the public schools that teach evolution?
Hey, you ever been taught that in school? Any of you? Any of you? Let me get a show of hands. Because I don't need cameras, because I know nobody's raising their hands. That, yep, they made sure to tell you all these details in school. Yep. Oh, they didn't? Oh, I'm sorry. Ken Hovind said we did. Because what he's basically alleging here is that you go to public school and this is what they teach you. Okay. Sure, Kent. Sure. Maybe in the public schools you like. You know what? I'm just going to say it. What's he going to do? Try to sue me for slander? He ain't going to do it. You're a fucking Nazi, Kent. Go to hell.
Because you're hypocrites, that's why. 1936, the German Supreme Court refused to recognize Jews in Germany as persons.
Hey, Kent, I know more about World War II German history than you, so shut the fuck up.
Our Supreme Court did the same thing, 1973. They said the word person does not apply to the unborn. You okay there, brother? Okay. Why did they do this to the Jews?
Here we go again.
Unbelievable things they did. Starve them to death.
Jesus
Put them in
Christ.
gas chambers.
This sums it up. Of course, Hovind would have a picture of him touching the goddamn crematoria, likely Dachau. What the fuck, Kent? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why in the goddamn hell do you have that picture? You don't fucking care. You don't fucking care about anybody. The memory of anything. I gotta get my picture with a crematoria, and I've got to touch it. I gotta get one of these kinds of pictures. And there's a way to do this where it's appropriate, where it's symbolic. I do this. I'll sometimes have a photo where it's just my hand, usually my left hand, touching the object, if I'm allowed to. As in, I was there, I was here, I made connection with this out of respect. That, I don't know what the fuck the face you're making is. It looks like you're like, I don't even know, dude. That fucking retarded ass half smile people like you have. But it's just like, hey, look at me. I'm at the crematoria. Yay. Like, dude, just. Whenever I wonder if there's any reason for me doing this shit, this is why. God fucking damn. God fucking damn. God, I hate this motherfucker. What a piece of shit.
I preached over there. Millions and millions of them just slaughtered. Why? Nuremberg. Hitler strove to make the individual feel small and expendable, and the cause seemed great. He was Time Magazine's Man of the Year in 1938. Hitler fully understood the importance of indoctrinating the youth in Germany with the Nazi philosophy and with evolution. It was taught in the German textbooks. Nazism is alive and well in the U.S.
That's the book, yeah. Protocols of the Elders of Zion. I had shared a guy's synopsis of that stuff. Him bringing it up in a couple of discords. Forget if I did it in yours or not, Various. I don't do too much in yours. I kind of just lurk. Don't have too much to say at any given time, except when I feel like popping up and being like, ha ha. I'm usually a lurker in things, but yeah, he promotes the Protocols of the Elders of Zion amongst so much other stuff. It's like, Kent, you are a Nazi. You are anti-Semitic. You are scum.
U.S., by the way.
And honestly, what's the difference between MAGA and Nazis? Coat of paint.
Let's see.
Different demographics they hate.
In Skokie, Illinois, a man told the authorities he chose a plastic surgeon from the phone book and killed him. Because they, that is the hairdressers and people who make blue-tinted contact lenses, are diluting the Aryan beauty. Hitler stressed biological evolution as the most forceful weapon against traditional religion. I regard Christianity as the most...
What was that source there, Kent? Hang on. Daniel Gassman. Very unfortunate last name. Scientific Origins of Modern Socialism, Social Darwinism, and Ernst Haeckel in the German Monist. What the fuck? What is that, 2 books over from the Turner Diaries? What the fuck, Kent? It's totally not a biased source at all, though. And by source, I mean something someone wrote sometime.
Hitler stressed biological evolution as the most forceful weapon against traditional religion. I regard Christianity as the most fatal, seductive lie that ever existed. I bet he would go with you to your protesting the Noah's Ark, wouldn't he? He'd fit right into your crowd, wouldn't he, guys?
No.
Read the book Hitler's Cross. He tried to fool everybody thinking he's a Christian with a propaganda poster with a cross over his head. No, he was not a Christian by any means, okay? Mildly.
Except he was, and while towards the tail end things get a little murky, as he went fucking nuts, he was still Christian. If he called himself Christian, which he did, then he was Christian.
Distant Catholic, which is not Christian either. Yeah,
piss off. Catholics are more Christian than you.
Nazi baptisms and Nazi altar. Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough, the people will believe it. They're more likely to...
That was Goebbels, not Hitler. You don't know your World War II history, you fucking piece of retarded shit. White trash piece of fucking ass. Your diarrhea swarming, spinning down the toilet. A stench that just lingers. A skid that just won't clean up. You're like that.
Believe a big lie than a small one. Karl Marx based his philosophy of communism on evolution. Strongest survive. Darwin's book is very important and serves me as a basis in natural science for the class struggle in history. Wow. Karl Marx tried to dedicate his book, Das Kapital, to Charles Darwin. Interesting. To Charles Darwin from a sincere admirer.
Yeah, and what's that book actually about? You ever read it? You want to tell us what it's about? Or you just want to say Karl Marx is bad, okay?
Karl Marx had 6 children. 3 died of starvation in infancy. 2 others committed suicide. He was too lazy to get a job because he's busy wanting other people to provide for him, like
Jesus fucking Christ. He's pulling that same shit he says with Darwin. It's like, come the fuck on, Kent. Just try harder, you fuckwit.
communism says. When Marx died, only 6 people attended his funeral. Here's some Karl Marx's.
By the way, that's not what communism says. It's not what socialism says either. And you're constantly begging for stuff. You're the one wanting everyone to pay for shit.
Manifesto, Communist Manifesto. Get rid of private property. Heavy progressive income tax.
Let's see. Agree with 1 and 2.
Abolish rights of inheritance.
Iffy on 3, but I understand where it's going.
Confiscate property rights.
Yep. Fuck landlords.
A central bank.
Central bank is good. Okay.
Government ownership of communication and transportation.
Should be kind of a blended thing. I like to think of how the Bell system was through many, many years, where it was a regulated monopoly. That there were problems there, but it kind of worked out well. But I'm for things like communication and transportation being, proper rights and something that is available to everyone. It's not limited and gatekept by somebody.
Government ownership of factories and agriculture.
Well, again, that makes sense if the government is actually of the people, by the will of the people, and as a properly executed, extremely socialist system would be, in my particular structuring of such. Because we're going to have different ideas. We're going to have variations.
Corporate farms. Free education.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Well, we've come a long way down this. Abolish private property. Well, the Bible's pretty clear. In the 50th year, if you lost your property because you couldn't pay your bills, everybody got their possessions back. You had your own vine, your own fig tree. Drink water out of your own cistern and run.
Wow, a vine, a fig tree. Hey, I'd rather have a say and have an equal share in the value, the work of the company I work for, of the things we do, and it not be kept behind the stock share system. I'd rather the places we live actually be ours and not us constantly paying off people, unless we're fortunate enough to have all the stars align and be able to get some magical loan that's cheaper than renting to where we can own a place. Yep. Just don't get me started on this. I could spend all day bitching about this stuff. One day I might want to, but I need to cement some things first, because I don't know how to phrase a lot of my opinions on things. But I think I'm getting ideas across. Also, if you've been posting anything in the chat I hadn't looked at in a hot minute, I'm going to go back and check it out. I'm just going to let Kent ramble.
Running water out of your own well. Peter Burrell, president of the Audubon Society, we reject the idea of private property. Good Marxist. Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the earth, which I do love and depend on, and to all life on land, air, and sea, which is as much a part of life as me. They protest the ark. They say it's a clear violation of the separation of church and state, especially since it receives state tax incentives. Guys, the evolution religion is tax supported in thousands of public schools, universities, and museums. You hypocrite. They say some criticize the park for its discriminatory hiring practice, requires applicants to sign an agreement professing Christ as their savior. Would a secular school hire a creationist to teach science? Would they get a person with qualified and everything else?
I'm going to read this one out. Kent, go to Ravensbrück, the concentration camp for women. The population was very diverse. Jews, Nordics, communists, Jehovah's Witness. If you are touched, come back and tell us its evolution.
But he believes in creation, doesn't believe in evolution.
Yes, Hitler was a creationist.
Would a secular university or high school hire him to teach their science class? Would American atheists hire me to teach at your conventions? You want to talk about discrimination?
Hey, they don't teach at conventions, Kent. It's talk, it's discussion, it's forums, it's presentations. There's a difference.
Okay. Pay me to come speak at your convention. I'd be thrilled. Okay. Can I answer the phones in your office, please? Why don't you make me one of the secretaries in your office? I'll answer the phone. Be glad to. Can't businesses hire who they want? You do. But you think Kent Ham with his Noah's Ark should not be able to. You hypocrites. Scientific American refuses to hire creationists. Interesting. You can read the article for yourself here.
I put the article in my slides, but you can read it for yourself here. Just pause my video and read it on this tiny ass screen that amazingly isn't pixelated to shit right now, Hovind.
Forrest Mims had written 500 articles published in 62 magazines and newspapers. Wall Street Journal, Science Digest. But they refused to give him a job because he believed in creation. He authored 60 books on science, lasers, and computer. He illustrated electronics books and sold 7.5 million copies. He's widely regarded as one of the world's most prolific citizen scientists, conducted studies on various scientific fields using instruments that he designs and makes.
Citizen scientist. So in other words, he's as qualified as I am.
He's recognized and supported by organizations like the National Science Teachers Association. Mims was the co-principal investigator of the GLOBE program Hayes Project. Contemporary Suppression and Atheistic Worldview, Jerry Bergman, Creation.
Kent, you illiterate fucking mongoloid. It says contemporary suppression of the theistic worldview. Now would be a good time to tell you that I like to bring out a lot of archaic insults that are definitely not considered correct today. But I think they apply to Kent Hovind. So, just so you know, I will say whatever at a point. I'm pissed off enough. This did it to me. It's already going to get demonetized, so where's the fucking harm?
Technical Journal from right outside of Atlanta. Look, you ever have fights in your high school when you were in school? What's the first thing that happens when somebody hollers, fight, fight? What happens next?
Hovind shows up. Wherever you fight, he will be there, voting for the person who believes in the creationism.
Everybody comes to watch, right? You want to start a creation ministry? Start a fight. Start a creation ministry, you should first learn as much as you can about the creation evolution controversy by reading and engaging with resources from ICR and creation research. They can provide you with access to technical journals and other resources, as well as opportunities for mentorship and cutting-edge creation research. A cause worth fighting for. I don't know what the book's about, but I like the title.
I don't know what the book's about, but I'm just going to put it in here. You fucking idiot.
Little boy David was going to go fight Goliath. His big brother said, "You can't fight that guy. You're just a shepherd." Little David said something amazing to his big brothers. Is there not a cause? Is there not a cause? A hill worth dying on. American atheists protest Noah's Ark. That's their cause. They're trying to get his ark shut down or something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Why?
Trying to bring up that it's stupid, that it was a waste of taxpayer money, and that religion is bullshit, amongst other things. Depends on the person. I personally would love to see it burn, but obviously, don't want to do anything. Definitely don't do anything, but it'd be funny. It'd also be funny if a flood took it out. I'm just saying, I love some irony.
Question, Christians, what's your cause in life? What are you living for? What are you working for? What are you investing in? What are you trying to do? Trying to get a bigger house, faster car, more leisure time, more vacation time, fancy.
Yes, Hovind with the bigger house that people built for him, the cars that people donate to him, more leisure time. Get Move Leisure Time. Yep, I too would like Move Leisure Time. Now available for PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast game consoles. Fancier clothes, yep, them Hawaiian shirts there. Watch more sports, gotta watch something. Catch bigger fish. Oh, come and fish at our 15 lakes that we stock all the time, Hovind. Because we can't keep fish alive in there because of the lead content, Hovind.
To your clothes, watch more sports, catch a bigger fish, teach more people God's word, win more souls.
Yep, and let's count everyone. Let's go through and see how many times God said kill, or the word kill is used in the Bible. I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about doing a stream where I do nothing but read every time, every passage that contains the word kill or killed.
I don't know about you, but I am eaten up with this creation ministry, brother. It's a great way to change lives and win souls. That's all I want to do with life, okay? What on earth?
Oh, no, see, that vomit was the congealed essence of Hovind.
What are you doing, for heaven's sake? Jesus told us, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. How you doing on that? Have you done any of them? Have you done any of it? Go and teach all nations. That's our.
Jesus also said, fuck off. They just didn't write it down in the Bible. But he told at least 48 people in non-consecutive situations to fuck off. Prove to me it didn't happen.
Commission if you're a Christian. The atheists have their plans. They're going to go to protest Noah's Ark. Okay, guys, come see me when I'm there. I'll try to, unless something miraculous stops it, I'm going to go up there, answer any questions you guys have. Be glad to help you. Come see the Lord. Come see the light. You're in a religion called evolution. It's the dumbest religion in the world, and you don't.
Oh, no, Devin. I mean total destruction. Not just the washout issue they had there early on.
Don't understand it. Okay. Questions, comments tomorrow night and Friday night. Call-in show. Anybody got some evidence for evolution? Call in. I don't believe there's anywhere. We got some questions there, brother? I'm a huge fan. How big are you? Oh, please listen to my Christian rap.
Well, it's Robert Smith of The Cure. Totally not of The Cure. Maria, hate to hear that. Damn. Fucking cancer, man. Fucking cancer. So sorry to every time reminded. Sorry, that just affects me heavy. Much love. I hope things work out well. I really do. Everyone send Maria some love. Not to make church a business. How much money you make off your grift? Exactly, Zoomy. Then you protest scientists every week by whacking them. How Jesus said fuck off is because it's an English word and English didn't exist then. Pretty sure he said the Hebrew Aramaic though. No. He actually just said fuck off out of nowhere. They didn't understand it at all. Oh, Maria. Okay. Hypothetical. Gotcha. Well, everyone still send some love to Maria because why not? She's awesome. I would say you're one of my favorites, but everyone's my favorites here. You're all my favorites. I can't pick just one. Oh, but you do have a lot that goes on. You only have the dog. Well, let's hope everything stays good with this doggo because you've been through a lot through life. We all have in one way or another. We just need to remember we're here for each other. That's the important thing. Jay, y'all can easily get me with that stuff, so be careful, Just you tell me things like, hey, make sure to clarify because I will get mixed up. I will misconstrue stuff. I will take a joke or a hypothetical and run with it. It's well documented. I'm in the U.S. She's offended by people taking advantage of children. Yep, deviant. It just freaking sucks. Fucking sucks. There's everyone sending love to Maria. Maria saying love you all too. Can you feel the love tonight, you guys? Suddenly I'm Eric Cartman. Very terrible Eric Cartman. Yeah.
Music.
Man, I want to watch Ken Hovind. I want to watch Ken Hovind.
Been listening to you for years. Thank you. Oh, I don't know. Where is it?
I don't know. He didn't send it.
Okay. Let's see. Who's the best babysitter in the Bible? Heard that one years ago. I don't remember. There was a cute answer, though. David, he rocked Goliath to sleep. There it is. Okay.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
You think carbon dating would say on day one? Well, I'm a strong believer in what's called the canopy.
Look out, everyone. We're going to have 4 solid minutes of the Hovind theory.
Canopy theory. There used to be a crystal canopy over the earth, maybe 10 miles up, containing all the air squeezed into 10 miles instead of 50. That would increase air pressure.
I'm someone's favorite streamer? Oh, God, that's wrong. That is all wrong. That is not how stuff is supposed to go. There has to be someone better than me. There has to be. No. Oh. Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. You like me. You really like me. Isn't it horrible? I'm full of all these outdated ass pop culture references that I only know because they were references in the cartoons I grew up watching. Oh, God, you guys are great. That's why I love streaming. Makes dealing with Hovind so much worth it. Kent's not wearing his wedding ring. Yeah. Oh, wow. Robert Beatty. Hey. Yeah. It's finally been removed. Claude had noticed that a little bit ago, like a couple of streams back. That yeah, it's gone. So we think he's finally admitting it.
It would also block out UV light, so probably very little carbon-14 could even form. So if you dig up an animal that was buried, that lived before the flood, buried in the flood, and date them with today's C14 percentage in the atmosphere, you're going to get a wildly wrong number.
Deviant with fuck me. No, that's Soot's job. That went from Cartman to Chucky very fast. I didn't even realize it. I can do the Cartman voice, but it's kind of hard to maintain with the way my throat's permanently scratchy, you know, the coughing fits and such. So I can only do the voices for a little bit, and they're an incredible strain. I hate that too. Ken is so rude to his fans. Anyone else notice that? Yeah. That's why I try to be not why I try to be so nice to y'all, but where I think there's a beautiful contrast in the way I try my damnedest to be as nice as I can be to you guys. Be as interacting, be as friendly, because y'all don't have to be here. Y'all could literally be doing anything else, and instead you're sitting here. You're enjoying my content however you wish, be it live right now or pre-recorded in the future. Why would I ever be mean to you guys? I might be like firm with something. I might seem like a dick sometimes because I suck at delivery. I try not to be. I might say something that could be deemed offensive, in which case I apologize if it upsets you guys, because the offense isn't intended for you to be taking. Instead, it's intended for Kent or somebody to be taking. But yeah, I'm not gonna be that guy like Kent is. He does not know how to interact with his audience at all. He doesn't care if they watch him. He just cares that they watch him. You know what I mean? Boomer sense of humor seems mean spirited. How he's sarcastic. Yep. Just take it in. That's what the guy in the alley told. No, I'm sorry. That's a horrible joke. He told me to take it in, and that's when I took the kitty indoors. Yep. And that's how I wound up with the kittens out there. You know, still ain't seen Kit, by the way. She is gone, baby. She's gone. Maybe one day I'll see that cat. Sorry, I was distracted. There was like a weird glow in the side of my room, and then I realized, oh, right, the sun's coming in at a different angle. It's peering through the window as it sets. Sorry, I'm distracted. Oh, it's not Chris. So you're my favorite streamer too, and you're probably Sits too. If I were to guess, damn. That's wild. That is so freaking wild. I'm awesome. I'm just not used to the positive feedback. Moss Eater, nah, man. It's true you're the best to me because you're chill and casual. Alongside Atheist Jr., binge your stuff playing Pokemon or Animal Crossing. Fuck yeah. And that's the thing. It's like there's a visual component, me putting everyone's comments up and, you know, of course, seeing what Kent does. But yeah, if you're just listening, then fuck yeah, that's all I want. That's all I could hope for, is just for something for someone to enjoy, especially while they're doing something else, because you're making me a part of that experience, which is so freaking awesome. It's like I have memories of playing Destiny on my Xbox while listening to Drunken Peasants. Great combo. Love those moments. Love those experiences. They became memorable for me. More than just the playing the game itself would be, in a weird way. I'm legitimately not used to having an audience, having a group that actually gets me. And by, you know, reciprocity, I get you guys as well. And gals and everyone of all gender identities in between. Hey, inclusivity. I just have to be funny with that. Ladies, gentlemen, and all gender identities in between. Let the record show that Yamato loves you. Yep. However you want to take that, just roll with it. I don't care. But you know, it's so cool when you find your people. That's all I can really describe. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I'll say it in the future. You find your people, it's awesome. Obviously, none of those people exist in Memphis. Not anymore, anyway. Remind me of when Grantham said Kent was dismissive and he brushed it off as Kent being humble. Yeah. Awesome, Kurisu. Thank you, Zumi. Oh yeah, I forgot that Deviant said, I knew you were gonna say that. Still went along with it because it was my natural reaction. Yeah, I ran right into that joke. Right into that one. Carbon 14 is formed from neutrons and nitrogen, not UV light. Yep. Kent does not comprehend basic physics. Of course, I'm the guy who talked about the nuclear forces in regards to radiation on the last stream, and Laura had inquired about that, and then I went to correct myself in my reply to her that it's a lot of other factors. Weak nuclear force can be involved in some types, but yeah, and not strong like I think I implied. I tried not to say strong because I wasn't sure. I think I just said by the nuclear force, and yeah. So, you know, things.
It's real simple. I cover that many times. Video 7 has a lot on that too in my seminar series. Okay, thank you, sir. Let's see. Why doesn't the church correct the schools? They're asleep at the switch. They're more interested in who's playing the stupid ball. They don't get it. Yeah, it's a good. Wish it was. As a Catholic, I really respect it. Well, good. Well, keep reading your Bible, and you can be a Baptist. We have a book, Why I'm Not a Catholic. Look, I'm not anti-Catholic. I just want the truth.
Yeah, you are. You're very anti-Catholic. You said they're not Christians. You would think the largest single denomination of anything that would remotely be considered Christian you would want on your side, Kent.
And your church teaches some things that just simply are not scriptural. I would get out of it if I was you. There it is. World Religion Library, Why I'm Not a Catholic.
Oh yeah, shiny Pokemon are freaking awesome to catch. It's like, oh, the numbers are in my favor. You know, yeah, that's the idea, is that you just have something else going along with it and you build up some of those associations. That's all I mean, you know.
What do you think about the things happening in this world right now? Beginning of birth pain. Absolutely. On my chart behind me, you can get the big one for whatever it is. I forget how much, or the small version of it here. Same chart. And my book, What on Earth is About to Happen, or my video series about the future that I wrote from prison. I really am a strong believer that there's a 7-year period of tribulation coming. I think most Christians think that from Daniel chapter 9. And we're raptured out at the end of it. I used to believe we get raptured out at the pre-trib. I wish it was true. Some people believe you get raptured out in the middle, mid-trib. No, it's post-trib, pre-wrath. The wrath of God comes in the day of the Lord. Christians taught this for years, 2,000 years, till a 15-year-old girl messed it up with her dream and said, oh no, we're raptured out before the tribulation. Simply not true. Oh, there we go.
Oh no, he dropped his lines on paper.
Okay, other questions? So dinosaurs were there even after the flood. Oh, absolutely. There might be some still alive. Been a lot of sightings. 11,000 people claim they've seen the Loch Ness Monster. Are they all lying? Are they all stupid? There have been many.
I don't think I ever did catch a shiny.
People have seen the Lake Champlain Monster. You can watch my video number 3. I cover this in great detail. All the sightings of dinosaurs in the last few hundred years. They're not as big as they used to be. Of course, the canopy that used to make them that big is gone. It fell down at the flood. Okay?
One more. Nicholas on Rumble says, how deep is the ocean?
It depends where you measure it. At the edge, 0. You know, the average depth of all the oceans is 12,000 feet. That's what they tell you. If you Google, what's the average depth? But you know, it varies wildly. If it had to cover the entire planet, if you pushed all the continents down and smoothed out the world, there's enough water out here to cover the world about 88,800 feet, mile and a half. Plenty of water in the ocean to cover the world. Noah's flood completely covered the world, which makes for some interesting dynamics of the tide. Because right now the tide gets interrupted, banging into stuff all the time. If there's covered in water, the tide would become harmonic and go up and down 200 feet. So if it's going up 200 feet, it's sucking water in like crazy at the same speed the world is turning, whatever latitude that is. We cover all that. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. You can see me talk about that at our Cliff House. We can see the lake. All
Cliff House, where I show you about the tidal pumping and the other kind of pumping that goes on. in case you get in the lake and accidentally are involved in a drowning. There won't be any pumping going on because no one here knows CPR. I was lifeguard 15 years, but I don't know how to care about anybody. Hovind.
All the layers of gravel here in our gravel pit probably formed in 3 days with just the tidal changing, sucking water in and out. Okay? Any more there, brother? Yay. Get to bed early tonight. Well, no, probably not. All right, see you tomorrow night. Hey, call in. Get your skeptic friends. Call in. I'll take any questions they got on creation evolution. Don't get off topic on other stuff, please. All right.
With Pokemon, I only played first and third gen, surprisingly. Didn't get a Game Boy Color or the, well, I didn't even need a Game Boy Color for Gold and Silver, but didn't never get those. A friend bought me Emerald, and then after that, like, I played a little bit of, I think, Diamond and Pearl on my DSi when I found that at Goodwill, but it's been up at the place I used to work at for years. It was going to get fixed, and then everything went to shit, and we never got around to finishing it. I need to get up there sometime and get my stuff. It's only been 2.5 years, but I'm sure it's still up there. Get that replacement DS he was going to get me. But yeah, Pokemon was cool. I got tired of it. It's just too much of the same, and I want to like it, but it doesn't do it for me anymore. It moved on. I prefer the older stuff. I'll let everyone who likes it now enjoy it and not complain. Have fun with it. I'm glad you do. You know what I mean?
Thank you tomorrow. Bye.
All right, there we go. We finished up the Hovind. We finished up the Hovind. The Hovind is done for today. Also, just because the stuff is compressed, it won't be more resistant radiation. It's the amount of material that matters, not the density. So Kent is undoubtedly stupid. Yeah, he doesn't know squat about jack, about anything, especially when it comes to nuclear science. Robert Beatty popping in. If y'all audio only might want to pop through and see some of the comments that have been put up by Robert Beatty, like this one. Also mentioned that Sandra is not likely to seek legal divorce since her claims to be legally married to Kent have no known legal support. Well, it makes most of the stream. Yeah, Billy, you hit right at the end. I get mad in this one. He basically does a DVD5 redux, and I get very, very offended. Very offended. Gold Silver favorite, love Gen 2. Please play the remake someday. You'll love them, I swear. Honestly, I'm probably gonna snag an emulator and get it cracking on the actual Game Boy versions. Just straight up, I could turn that into a whole dang stream. Chris plays Pokemon Gold and Silver for the first time. That would actually be pretty good. But yeah, man, this one was. I was not expecting this to go this way. Thank you all for listening. I fully acknowledge that I dropped some words in there that are not so nice, that are very archaically offensive. But I find the word slightly amusing. And in talking about Hovind, where's the harm? He's garbage. He's just straight garbage. So, y'all understand where I'm coming from? That's all I can say, really. But that's going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to get a little Guild Wars in and then get to bed. Just, as always, y'all are all awesome. I say it every stream, and I'm going to keep on saying it because you are. You're here. You always hang out. You're always chatting. You're always giving me info, correcting me if I'm wrong, learning new things from me where I'm right. Couldn't ask for a better audience. And I'm just going to keep on doing this stuff until I can't do it anymore. If you want to play as the first girl ever girl trainer in the Pokemon series, you have to pick Crystal over Gold and Silver. Oh, yeah, good point. Good point. That's what I did in Emerald. I picked a girl. Because I tend to play games as females, usually not males. Like Guild Wars, one male character, all the rest are well, no, I have two now because I have a Char that is a male Char guardian who's actually named after my cat that passed away a while back, Gimbu. So yeah, technically I have 2 male characters, but yeah. All right. That's gonna be the end of that. 7:26 my time. Like I said, gonna hit some Guild Wars. Gonna finish up some stuff. I'll of course be in the Discord. XMPP server has been tested with Nubifier actually. And everything's working smooth. So I'm just gonna have to come up with some sort of foolproof way to get people on there, and we'll have our own private stuff that's not Discord and not everything else. So just in case shit hits the fan, we'll have a way to keep in touch.